Hi guys. Today we are reading Riddle Rose Hearts. Okay. The novel. Yay! I still do not have all the what's it called? The playlist for like all the soundtracks. I want to get that and then we can start reading. Also, I think I'm gonna have like a little webcam of like the book, just because I think it'll be easier in the long run. Why can't this not get to the right side? Oh my god, please. Okay, there we go. Damn, it took like a hot minute for like this thing to open up. Damn. Let's see. I'm not lagging or anything, right? Yeah. Ads. Oh gosh, I didn't even start yet. What the hell? Okay. Make it onto YouTube. I missed last time's book reading, so I'm gonna listen here. Hey, nice. I actually don't think I have that much time to read today, cause I gotta do something in like an hour that I totally forgot about. I thought it was like not gonna happen today, but no, it's gonna happen today. So poor planning's on me. Sorry, y'all. Well, what was it called again? Twisted Wonderland official sound. Oof. Yeah, big oof. Totally on me. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay. The official soundtrack is this one. We're not. Need full playlist. Alright. I think last time we left off is when you found the ramshackle room. I'm gonna turn these way lower because these are pretty loud. Okay. So all I need is... Oh, I don't even have this. Okay, so I need to do audio capturing as well. Trying to make an Octavanilla pump for Alpha and Animal Crossing in a bit. Need to rest my hands due to making induced memory and giving myself carpal tunnel. Oh my god, be careful. That's serious. But I'm glad you were able to make outfits in Animal Crossing. I find outfits in Animal Crossing, whenever they post stuff like that on the internet, I find that so cute and endearing. Damn. Now I want to play Animal Crossing. It's been a minute. TikTok chat not popping on my stream because we got a spam. Hold on. Let's do it this way. Okay, there we go. Now it's popping up. Okay. I want this to be window audio. I don't know why, but making PowerPoints relaxes me. PowerPoint. I associate that with work, so I mean, good on you for not having that get you down. Okay, so that's not working. So I think it's application. Yeah, it's application. There we go. Oh, it's beta. Yeah, I totally forgot that was like a beta thing. Right. I need to capture Chrome. There we go. And this will go away. And this will be played. Do we all hear it? Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. I think we all hear it. Let me just lower it like this much. Alright, it shouldn't be loud. Let me know if it's loud though. Yep. Okay, perfect. And now I gotta fix this webcam thing that I want to do, because it's really zoomed in, but I zoomed it in so we could like see the words, and okay, we're gonna see how this goes because this is rough. Okay. I think this is perfect. All right. Let's turn this on. Oh, it's upside down. Alright. Rotate. There we go. Now you guys can read what I'm reading. Yay! Hi, Rose. Hi! This is my bookmark. Do you guys see it? The butterfly! It's a hologram butterfly. Yeah. It's my favorite bookmark ever. I got it at the library. Years ago. Anyways. Okay, so yeah, this is Crowley. The catch on his top hat. I'll no doubt return shortly. Please feel free. Make yourself comfortable. He left Yuya in the lounge and firmly closed the door behind him, bringing down a storm of accumulated dust. Make myself comfortable, he says. Yuya muttered under his breath. He was more likely to choke to death on the dust swirling through the air. With a sigh, he set himself to cleaning the lounge so he could spend the night there. Anybody else have a hologram rose? I'm using my green dragon one right now, though. Green dragon! That's totally malice coded. Sorry, brain rot, brain rot. Let me stop. Novel U is such a sass master. Everybody here is like, their personality is like max times 10 in the novel. And I guess it's because like they have to describe them more thoroughly. And I like that. I really like that they do that. Okay. Any ideas of what to draw? Oh, you could draw clean. I was gonna say Yuya, but I'm like, you kind of already have a Yuya, don't we? The manga. Okay. Where were we? Right, reading. Candle holder in hand, he stepped into the corridor, careful of the wrapped floorboards under his feet. He tentatively opened the small door at the end of the corridor and found a storeroom, just as he expected. He took an ancient broom from inside and returned to the lounge. He yanked open the windows and began to sweep the floor, pulling up a thick layer of dust like peeling skin. Ugh! Oh, you guys can't read the rest because my webcam is so zoomed in. Oh no! How far can I go? How far can I go? Alright, this is the max I can go. Sorry guys. I had a better setup. I don't have room. I literally don't have room. Pink skin? No, peeling skin. Like peeling. The dust was like peeling skin. Okay. As he coughed and cleaned, he heard a pitter-patter against the wall. A quiet sound that quickly changed to the burbling of water. It's raining, he realized. The gentle rhythm of falling rain steadily increased in volume as a sudden shower turned into a full-blown storm. In the distance, he heard thunder rumbling like a purring of a happy cat. The bright moon and clear skies of the orientation seemed like a faraway dream now, or perhaps that had been magic too. He could almost hear Crowley saying, "Naturally, we take measures to ensure that this important ceremony sees a successful conclusion." Air coming through the windows was cooler now, perhaps because of the rain. The long-sleeved robe he was wearing, apparently Night Ribbon College's ceremonial dress, was perfect for the current temperature. Damn. Damn, he did not get a chance to live. He immediately gets rained on. I think that's really bad. Oh, I'm lagging. Hold on. I know who the source is. So for the TikTok, I have to like end it and then turn it back on. End it and then turn it back on. Oh, we're good. We're good now. I wonder if Twist will make a human AU one day. Human AU? What do you mean by that? Human AU? Because everyone else is pretty human. It's good on Twitch? Okay, thank God. Okay. When we heard the word orientation, he assumed it was spring, but it was fall, one of the 4 seasons of this world that matched the world he'd come from. He heard that the schools overseas started their new school year in the fall. And from the style of the buildings he'd seen so far, the structure of this college did seem to be more closely related to schools in Europe or America than in Japan. He crouched down and peered into the large fireplace, wondering if he maybe light a fire to make the room a little brighter, but there was nothing in it except charred remnants of fires past. He had no idea where to find something he could burn, nor did he have any matches he could use to actually light a fire. He stood up with a sigh. There was nothing he could do here. What would the others do in this situation? Would they use magic? Like Crowley lighting the candles with a wave of his hand, or Riddle and Grim at the orientation? How had he ended up in such a weird world? And let me see if I can like squeeze the rest of the words in here. Nope. Okay, this is the limit. Got it. I'm all alone. As he stared into the fireless fireplace, Yuya was suddenly overcome with loneliness. Oh! Mood change! Mood change! We are now crying. What is a crying? Crying. This one. Nope, that's boss battle music. What? Why is that so? Okay, there we go. Like maybe no magic. Oh, like Earth AU then. Okay, I get that. Okay, I'm gonna make this a little louder because it's pretty quiet. The PTSD on my what were his parents doing right now? No, not the parent drop. Oh, I can't do this again. Not after the silver inks. Okay, he didn't know what time it was, but he guessed it had been a while since he woken up in the mirror chamber. His parents would have come home from work by now. Were they worried because he wasn't there? He didn't have any friends here he could lose track of time hanging out with. Once his parents noticed their son hadn't come home yet, they would almost certainly be worried. As he pictured the faces of his loving parents, he had a sudden realization. If he couldn't go back to his original world, he'd never see his mom and dad again. Oh my god, this is dark. Now, for the first time, his fear took on a definite shape. You know my English. Pressing down on him. He had been entirely preoccupied by the one bewildering incident after another, which had been a good thing. It had kept him busy enough that he could allow himself to believe that everything happening to him was part of an extremely weird dream, that this unfamiliar world and its dangerous magic were all someone else's problem. But now that he was alone, he was forced to face it. Would he never see his parents again? What if he had to live here alone, in this place where magic actually existed? He felt something hot in the corners of his eyes. Reflexively, he reached up, about to brush away the tears, but then hesitated given how dusty his hands were. Is it too small? Here we go. I'm gonna put this behind me though, because I'm important. Kidding, I'm not that important. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna block TikTok chat for a little bit. Sorry, my big head is big. Okay, there we go. He tilted his head back and took a breath. He was determined not to cry because he was scared. Not at this age. He was embarrassed by his tears, even though there was no one around to see them. It would all be fine. Something would work out. There was nothing to cry about, he told himself, and tried to swallow the sobs that threatened to spill out of him. Then he heard a wet splat. It wasn't the wetness of tears' fault. With a gasp, he held up the candle in the direction the sound had come from, and saw a wet piece of fabric on the floor beneath the window. It looked like the curtain had ripped right off due to the extra weight of rain soaking it. Everything in this building really was ancient. As Yuya went over to the window to close it, when something leaped at his chest out of nowhere. Oh. Hold on. I think this is a this type. This What? He cried as he fell on his backside, and dazzling blue flame burned before him.
Wah! It's seriously pouring out there, said a voice.
Gah, gah. Yuya's mouth gaped open and shut. The thing grinned and laughed.
Meow! That look on your face is priceless. Like a bat that got blasted by a water gun.
Grim? Laughing at him once more was the little creature that had started chasing him around the moment he opened the eyes in the mirror chamber. Okay. Actually, I changed my mind. This is not fitting at all. It would be... Where is it? There we go. There we go. Ace's B-Day tomorrow? Yeah, it is! Laughing at him once more was a little creature that had started chasing him around the moment he opened his eyes in the mirror chamber. But Grim had been kicked out of school at the orientation. He caused such a ruckus that Yuya had assumed that the school would have put some kind of measure in place to make sure he couldn't step onto the campus again. So, how had he gotten in here? Maybe no one thought he would be so persistent. When Yuya looked closely, he saw that Grim was missing the shackle Riddle had locked around his neck. "What are you doing here?" he yelped.
It's obvious. Duh.
Grim rolled his eyes.
I'm here to fight you so I can be the student at this college. People keep getting in my way, but this time for sure, you're going down!
Wait, there's no point in fighting me. Yuya stopped, Grim with both hands as the creature started to take a deep breath. I'm not a student here. A lick of fire flickered out from between fangs.
Huh? What do you mean?
Yuya told Grim what had happened after he left the mirror chamber.
You mean you can't use magic?
Grim scrutinized him with wide eyes. Exactly, Yuya nodded.
Whoa. Didn't see that one coming. Grim shook his head slowly. Sucks to be you.
You don't have to actually say it, Yuya groaned. The desire to flee that had welled up in him during the orientation was rekindled. He wanted to be anywhere but there, as if to strike the final blow on an increasingly despondent Yuya. Okay, Grim let out a huge sigh. So beating you to a pulp's not gonna get me in, huh?
Well,
oh wait, this is Grim. Oh,
get me in, huh? Well, guess I better think up in another way.
Another way? Yuya asked.
Yep. Grim inched closer. I take you hostage and threaten the head mage.
Yuya shoved the creature back with the broom. Although Grim seemed to have given up on the idea of fighting him, he couldn't let his guard down just yet. Why don't you give up already?
Don't be stupid. I ain't never giving up, Grim declared, and leaped up onto the back of the sofa. Even that position, he still wasn't quite at eye level with Yuya. Nevertheless, he began to speak with overwhelming passion. I was born to do this. I am a magical prodigy who's got the makings to become one of the greatest mages who ever lived. Which is why I figured I'd be a shoo-in for famed Night Riven College. And why I was waiting and waiting for that black marriage to come for me, and yet never did.
Grim fell silent, drops of rainwater falling from the tips of his drooping ears. He looked so much like a stuffed animal when he wasn't moving that. With him soaking wet and hanging his head like this, you almost felt sorry for him. Bro, the biggest mystery of Twisted Wonderland is where the hell Grim came from. Why is he like this? I mean, not like like why is Grim the way he is? Because he's so rare. Like, there's no other diary piece talking like Grim. And why is he alone? Where, does he have parents? Did he have an owner maybe? Who made him? Or where was he born from? The biggest mystery of Twisted Wonderland, and I think that's gonna be answered like last. I don't even know if it's gonna be answered, to be honest, because we're so focused on like getting back home. I don't know if we care about Grim like that. I mean, we do, but still. He did say that he woke up alone. Yeah. While Yuya struggled with how to respond, Grim suddenly shook himself like a dog, and water went flying everywhere.
Grim snorted. His brash grin was back on his face. That dark mirror and the head mage got no eyes for talent. I'm totes destined for greatness, to be the most powerful mage ever. Not letting me in is a great loss for the whole wide world. I am going to school here, whatever it takes.
But you don't know what they'll do to you next time, Yuya protested. You're already in so much trouble, just give it up.
Never! I will be a great mage! Grim screeched, and it was clear that he would not listen to a word that Yuya had to say.
Another mystery. Why does Grim want to become a great mage? Like, maybe he wants like all the tuna in the world, but like there has to be a deeper reason. Because even if Grim likes tuna like that, I don't know. I feel like there's a deeper reasoning on why Grim wants to become a great mage, and I think it's a very sad reasoning. A really sad one. So the people who waited for their Hogwarts acceptance are feeling such kingship with Grim right now. Oh. What if Grim used to be human and was cursed? I don't know. I think it would make... Yeah, that would make sense if that was true. Grim screeched, and it was clear that he would not listen to a word that Yuya had to say. Yuya couldn't handle Grim setting everything on fire again, so he held his palms out, assenting. Okay, fine. I get it. What do you mean by all this great mage stuff anyway?
So, okay, a great mage, right? We're talking the most amazing mage ever, Grim said.
Yuya was pretty sure that this was not really an explanation, but Grim ignored his doubtful demeanor and went on, eyes shining brightly as he re-encountered his dreams to Yuya.
A great mage, super popular and powerful. You want something done. That's the guy you call. When I'm a great mage, everyone will be like, Grim's so cool, and Grim is so strong, and what a genius Grim is. Total respect.
Wow. Sounds amazing. Yuya was the only one going along with Grim, trying not to stir up anything. But Grim seemed satisfied. He snickered somewhat derisively? Okay. That's the dream, eh?
But too bad for you. Can't use magic.
Oh, wait, no, that's us. Oh my god. They're both so sassy. That's the dream, eh? But too bad for you. Can't use magic, so you can't be a great mage. Well, okay? What I'm saying here is, you got no chance. Oh, wait, no, that is Grim. Bro, I'm so stupid. I forgot how to read books. Anyways. I'm maybe fine with that, Yuya said.
Liar! Ain't a soul alive who doesn't want to be a great mage. Grim crossed his arms with a malicious smirk. No point in pretending you're all tough. I mean, truth is, you gotta be wishing you could use magic like me.
Yuya pictured it for a moment. What if he could use magic? It would be handy. And probably lots of fun, but that didn't mean he was stewing in his own thwarted ambitions or feeling panicky. Grim could boast and brag until the sun set, but Yuya didn't feel so much as a twinge of jealousy towards these magic users.
Do you even get it? Grim stammered. If you were a powerful mage, you could do anything, everything, with magic.
Magic. A parallel world. Yuya honestly couldn't care less. He only wanted one thing right now, to go back to his own world.
You've got some screws loose, buddy.
Grim pursed his lips in a pout and sat on the sofa. Suddenly, he opened his eyes wide.
Whoa! The bottoms of my feet are all white!
Oh wow, they are, Yuya peered at his paw pods, which now looked like a bit of cotton. Bits of cotton. Oh, that's so cute! I guess it's because you were walking around this dusty place after getting soaked by all the rain. Yuya had only finished cleaning half the floor, after all, and hadn't even gotten started on the sofa.
Dust?
And looked around like he was only noticing the state of the room.
Oh yeah, everything's all whitish and it stinks like mold. How am I supposed to sleep here? Get cleaning already!
Huh? Yuya wondered whether he heard wrong. Did you just say sleep? Oh god.
Yup, Grim nodded firmly. You're planning on staying here.
Wait, you're planning on staying here?
You betcha. You seem like a guy who maybe gets it. I won't take you hostage for now, so give me a place to live instead.
But Grim, Yuya protested, you just got thrown off campus. The head mage is gonna be back soon, and honestly, I really don't need any more trouble. Real, Yuya's so real. He's like, get me out here. Still, why is he able to talk when other divers can't? Even if he was never human, his flames kind of resemble those on Indian Orthoshad, and he literally eats blood crystals. Yeah, I'm thinking that he's cursed, because Indian Ortho have like blue fire, so that definitely has to mean like they're cursed. Somewhat, somehow, somewhere, you know? There's a big chance Idia and Grim are related in some way. Yeah, a lot of people said that when they first saw Grim and Idia. If you wake up tomorrow and find a white cat, it's me. She's delivery service and Grim. Yeah. The one that says Grim was the monster that killed the original Ortho. Oh. No. I don't think that. I don't think they would be that connected. I think it was confirmed he is cursed in book 6. Cursory had a spell placed on him. Oh yeah, Idia said that. I totally forgot about that. Oh my god. Idia's a genius sometimes. I totally forget what he says. He drops a lot of lore. Same thing with Leona. They drop a lot of lore, those two. But Grim, Yuya protested. Wait, no, I've already read that.
You gonna shoo me out into this rainstorm?
Grim turned incredulous eyes on him. Incredulous eyes on him. Okay.
You're a cold one. Dang. So you're saying you don't care if my fur gets soaking wet and I catch a cold and it goes and turns into Pinomi?
Pinomi? What, Grim? I didn't say that. I mean, I didn't, but you really didn't want to aggravate Grim. But he got the feeling that letting the creature who disrupted the orientation so spectacularly stay was only going to be a headache for him. While he had struggled to decide what to do, Grim suddenly screeched and leaped up.
Something just fell on my back!
Huh? Was it? Yuya looked up at the ceiling and glimpsed a wet spot. Of course there's a leak! How old is this building?
Meh!
Grim snarled.
Get up there and fix it with your garbage roof!
Oh, fix that garbage roof. Him. You just ending up being the unpaid, unlicensed therapist of all NRC and janitor at this point. God. I can't. He just stared at him blankly. I've never repaired a roof before in my life.
You could just use magic those holes. Oh, wait. Right. You can't use magic.
Grim burst out laughing.
Man, you're so useless. Okay, fine then. Boring guy like you can just go out and go get a boring bucket or whatever, can't ya?
Can't ya? Grim, oh my god, he's so ruthless. He fits right into NRC though, so he'll be a perfect student. Yuya turned exasperated eyes on Grim. This creature clearly only cared about himself. Grim rolled around laughing on the sofa and then abruptly stopped.
Meow!
What? More rain?
Meow, meow!
Grim reached out toward Yuya. Are you trying to give something? He held his own palms out in return, but these were slapped away immediately.
No, you don't!
Grim yelled.
Behind you!
Behind me? Wait, no, wrong. No. What was it? What was the song? It's not that. This one. It was this one. I'm not used to the titles yet. Oh wait, no. Oh, you know what? Let's go with it. He turned around and saw white smoke drifting up in the middle of the room. He assumed at first that it was another fire, but he couldn't see any flames. Actually, no, this is more serious because they're scared, right? Yeah, they are. There we go. Where was the smoke coming from? He cocked his head curiously to one side as he looked down and then up.
Hee hee!
The white smoke. Oh, wait, no. I should give it like a deeper voice, right? Hee hee. White smoke echoed with laughter as a face formed within the shapeless mist and met the astonished Yuya's eyes before it started flying around the room. I would be scared if I saw those ghosts, bro. Where do you get the TWST playlist? So they released the CD, I think, earlier this year. It's called the Disney Twisted Wonderland soundtrack. You can find it on Google. There's like a playlist of it. Or you could buy the soundtrack. It's a CD on Amazon, and Barnes and Noble surprisingly has it. Yu's eyes before it started flying around the room. With shaking hand, he started to shine a light on it, but the smoke slipped away into the darkness. He peered into the gloom, trying to follow it. "We haven't had visitors in ages," came a voice that the abrupt words sent shivers up Yuya's spine. "How long has it been anyway?" Lightning flashed outside the windows, and a bolt thundered nearby, as if to further shred the ripped curtain, and for a split second, the dark room was bright as day. "Welcome to our home," the voice continued as a semi-transparent something floated in mid-air, smiling creepily as it stretched out its hands. "Ghost!" Yuya yelped. Okay, we need fight music. Because this is where they start fighting. Right? This is like the first battle we had, technically. Is it this one? No. Why is this? Is it this one? Getting into an argument? Yeah. White floating and see-through, Yuya and Grim were definitely staring at a ghost. "Stay away from me!" Grim cried, whipping the ghost with his tail. But the white haze only vanished into nothing for a moment before quickly coalescing again into its original form. No matter how hard Grim tried to smack down the ghost, his tail simply passed right through it. Meanwhile, the ghost seemed utterly unfazed by the entire situation. "What in the world? My tail's all tingly!" Grim tucked his tail between his legs and shrank back against Yuya's legs. Oh my god. The ghost giggled gleefully again. Yuya suddenly realized they weren't up against just one ghost. Several pairs of eyes appeared in the air, all of them staring down at him from every direction. "Always nice to have visitors," one ghost commented. "We get so bored, you know." "All the people who used to live here got scared of us and ran away," noted another. "Real weird." Their white bodies had no legs, instead stretching and trailing off into nothing, like a lizard's tail. They bobbed toward Yuya and Grim, gently, but with an air of finality, somehow. Yuya felt a powerful chill. As the ghost approached, he felt as if he had been tossed into a vat of ice water. His legs trembled, his jaw shook, and his teeth shattered. He wondered if the icy tendrils creeping up from his feet would eventually reach his heart. He could see the light of the candle on the table through the bodies of the ghosts. "We just want some new pals to play with," a ghost said as it leaned up, colored red by the flame, and its face was abruptly enormous, lips pulled back and a frightening snarl of a smile. "How about we make you into ghosts?" Maybe it was because his legs were frozen, or maybe it was the terror, but Yu couldn't move or scream. He was rooted to the spot, while next to him, Grim's ears twitched. He guessed Grim was probably just as scared as he was, and lowered his gaze. They nearly did a double take. The look on Grim's face was the exact opposite of what he expected. Grim's nose was wrinkled. His throat rumbled with a low growl. Flames flickered out from between his fangs, and his eyes blazed with outrage. I ain't afraid of ghosts! I ain't afraid no ghosts. Ghostbusters. What song did they play when they started fighting? I think it was like Magic Battle, right? Let's see. No, wait, no, they had their own special song. I forget that some of them sometimes they have their own special song. This is your bedtime story? Hey, enjoy! They did some more than just A, B, and C. Yeah, the ghosts. Yeah, they've been with us through thick and thin, bro. I'm not afraid of no ghosts. He exclaimed. When the ghost had first appeared, Grim had shrunken up against Yuya in fear, but he had clearly gotten over that initial shock. All his fur was standing on end as he aggressively leaned forward. He could be so determined, even now? Oh, how could he be so determined, even now? Yuya looked on in surprise while Grim stood on all fours and shouted,
"I'll show you what I got!"
"Juan!" The area around them grew abruptly brighter. Flames lapped at the floors and walls. It was an orientation all over again.
Ah!
"No! You're gonna set the place on fire!" Yuya grimaced at the heat and reached out to try to stop Grim. But the creature slipped away, chasing after the circling ghost. Balls of fire flying everywhere. "Hup, hup. Not even close," one ghost taunted. "Go ahead and fire off all your sad little magic until you die. 'Cause we can't, you know. We're already dead and everything." Oh my god, these ghosts.
"Shut up!"
The angry Grim kept shooting off fireballs indiscriminately. Pop, 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 pop. Yuya raced around and put out tiny fires with his shoe or his hand covered in his sleeve. The rain was actually a blessing, he realized. Because of it, the room was so damp that the flames basically just smoldered when they hit the floor or the furniture. But he could tell that the constant heat of the fire was starting to dry out the damp. It was only a matter of time before one of those firebars truly lit something on fire. If he didn't put an end to this, the building really would burn down. "Grim, stop! Stop it! Calm down!" Yuya shouted desperately, but his voice was drowned out by the rain beating against the windows. "Missed by a country mile! Over here! This way!" a ghost taunted. Insert epic music. Yeah. I have a very favorite battle music. I'll share it with you guys if I could find it. Or if I remember before I end the stream today. You got a lot of nerve for someone who sees through. Quit popping up and disappearing already, Grim growled. Yuya's head spun as the ghost roared with laughter, and Grim just roared. The intensifying thunderstorm only made his panic that much more acute. He was so scared and worried he could hardly stand it, his heart leaping and pounding in his chest. Why did Grim keep missing the ghosts anyway? It definitely wasn't because the ghosts were moving too fast. They bobbed toward them and away again, gently drifting around, Grim and Yuya as if teasing them. They were moving so slowly that Yuya could probably have tossed a ball and hit one of them. Did the ghosts have some kind of special power? He examined them carefully. No, it was Grim. He was closing his eyes every time he let loose a fireball, and there was no way he was going to hit anything flamingly like that. At last, flames began to eat away at the sofa. I have to stop this. OMG, I don't know how Grimm's hasn't burned down Ramshackle yet. Me too, bro. Bro is a hazard to everything. He definitely burned down some other things though, but yeah. Wait, did I miss something? Just Grim, trying to kill ghosts. You know, everything. Grim just sucks. Yeah. Yuya clenched his fist in determination and crept towards Grim. The monster was totally focused on the ghost in front of him and had apparently forgotten all about Yuya. Waiting for the moment when the jet of fire streaming from Grim's fanged mouth broke off, Yuya grabbed Grim with both hands and lifted him up in the air, then started running. I stared ahead, not looking back. He couldn't dodge the ghost blocking his way forward, so he slipped right through its white body. He reflexively screamed at the sudden chill that wrapped around him. Oh my god, which felt like standing in front of an open refrigerator door. Stumbling forward, he managed to escape into the hallway, slamming the lounge door shut so hard it threatened to break. That was too freaky, he said as he slumped down onto the floor. Not this one. Not this one. What should I go with? This is harm. Oh, I know. This one. I have so many tabs open with music. He said as he slumped down onto the floor in front of the door, the nervous tension draining from his body all at once. Grim was frozen in his arms, perhaps still processing his sudden abduction, but then he left out a grasp of realization and glared up at Yuya, demanding,
"What are you doing, you jerk? I had everything under control."
"You nearly burned the whole building down," Yuya snapped in reply.
"Fine," Grim sniffed. "Then you deal with them."
I Yuya shook his head back and forth so hard it nearly flew off his neck. I can't!
Oh, whoa, what, you a little scaredy cat?
Grim sneered. It's just, I mean, I've never been in a fight before.
Shut it then, if you don't need any lip from a useless human. Oh, I don't need any lip from a useless human.
Sorry. Yuya. Oh my god. Grim was painfully correct. There was nothing Yuya could do except apologize, but if he gave up now, the best case scenario was that they ended up pals with the ghost. Worst case was the same, except with extra suffering, as they were burned alive along with the building. Listen, Yuya worked hard to keep his voice even. I was watching you in there. You kept closing your eyes when you were using your magic, you know. And I just kind of feel like maybe it's gonna be hard to hit anything like that.
Grim cocked his head to one side, pursed his lips, and mimicked himself shooting fire.
And apparently noticed for the first time that he did indeed have such a habit.
Well, I can't help it. When I go, ooh, with my mouth, my eyes go, yeah,
he said, showing Yuya his technique. This seemed pretty clumsy to Yuya, like not being able to walk and chew gum at the same time. But maybe he was in no position to talk. While running toward the ghost, he had been so scared he squeezed his own eyes shut. Perhaps deep down, Grim was scared too, he realized. Grim had the courage to face the ghost all alone, though, unlike Yuya, who had simply frozen in place. Couldn't Yuya at least help him? After considering it for a minute, he had a flash of insight and looked down at Grim on his lap. I got it! There's an easy fix. Here, I'll tell you where the ghosts are. Like, right, left, up, that kind of thing. Then you shoot fire in that direction. That way, your magic might hit them.
Huh? Why should I take orders from you?
Grim said, insulted, and began to flail against Yuya. He was clearly raring to charge back into the lounge and start firing again. Okay, so this is great. This is actually really interesting. We kind of get an explanation for how twist tunes are translated into, I guess, quote-unquote reality of Twist in Wonderland. Like, it's just us trying to tell Grim what to do, because Grim is kind of dumb and he's a cat or a raccoon type thing, and he can't really think for himself. He's tamer status unlocked. Yeah, basically, yeah. Wait, you squeeze Grim tightly to hold him in place. Just listen to me.
Nope! Grim said, still squirming. You think you're all hot stuff when you didn't even do a single thing in there.
I'm sorry, Yuya said again. But if you don't...
You about done here?
Hold on. Came a bright voice abruptly from above his head, and he nearly replied to it automatically. He managed to hold his tongue and ever so timidly looked up. A ghost torso was poking through the closed door. Oh no.
Ah! The ghost!
He exclaimed. When the ghost slipped through the wall, Yuya and Grim leaped backward. The ghost gave them a once-over. Sorry to bug you in the middle of your chit-chat, one said. We just got sick of waiting is all. The end of Yuya's nose grew cold. The ghosts were almost on top of them. Get away from us, he cried.
Stay back!
Grim yelled. Yuya thrust his hands out at the ghosts and Grim breathed fire, lost in the moment. Ah! It burns! The ghost yelped. The ghosts were on fire. Actually, they were less on fire and more riddled with holes where the fire had shot through them. Just like a shadow disappears when its owner steps out into the light. The bodies of the ghosts disappeared under the gleam of the flames. Grim had finally made a hit. Oh, hold on. Now we gotta change. Now we gotta change it up.
Piece of cake, Grim said, looking at the panicking ghost. Hey human, point me toward a ghost!
You got it, he said as he picked up the creature up again and carefully aimed him at a ghost. Now! The world before him flashed with a pale light.
Ah!
Another ghost was knocked flying by Grim's blast.
Ha! Got one! I knew it was a total whiz with magic!
Grim said as he looked back at Yuya and grinned.
Keep 'em coming, humans! Roger, Yuya said. Though Grim had objected to Yuya's earlier suggestion of telling him which way to aim, they were essentially doing that now. But they were moving together rather than Grim obeying Yuya's orders, which seemingly made this arrangement more acceptable to Grim. In fact, he seemed to be having fun as he let his fire fly. Yuya supported him with both arms as if gripping a hose with water turned all the way on, and together they dispersed the ghosts. Nyaha! I am the greatest, Grim crowd. You're heavy. Yuya's hands were already slipping from the weight of the creature that was much bigger and heavier than the average house cat, and the recoil from every fireball nearly knocked him over backward. Quit your belly aching, Grim said merrily, and whacked his arm. He was in high spirits now that had gotten himself the perfect vehicle. When the flames hit the ghosts instead of spreading, they quietly fizzed out like they'd been dosed with water. All around them, you could hear a soft hiss of ghosts disappearing. Nice. Eee! A ghost wailed, "No fair king upon us!" Shut up! Grim snarled. There are way more of you! One ghost after another fled through the wall. You chased them into the lounge and surveyed every nook and cranny of the room, holding Grim at the ready. How did they become friends after this, bro? They almost killed ghosts, technically, didn't they? Oh, God. Is firing Grim like firing a gun? Or, yeah, I'd like to imagine firing Grim's like a gun. What is it called? The fire launcher. Fire hose? I forgot the name of it. Anyway, flame blower, like a flame blower. There we go. Chorus of ghost voices sounded. Wah! They're gonna disappear for us. Good. Retreat! Fall back! We've got to get out of here! Before you knew it, the laughter and the screams had stopped, and the only sound in the lounge was his and Grim's panting. The storm outside had also faded into gentle rainfall. The flying herd of ghosts was nowhere to be seen, and the room was in more or less good shape. It did smell a little charred, but otherwise, it was the same dark and damp lounge. Grim leaped out of Yuya's arms. As he landed, he put his hands on his hips and threw his head back proudly. How'd you like that? I totally smashed those ghosts. That was amazing, Grim, Yuya agreed. Yeah. Kai's look flashed across Grim's face, and he averted his eyes flustered. He had been so confident and full of pride, and yet when someone actually paid him a compliment, he seemed oddly flabbergasted. Yuya had to smile at the situation. Grim chuckled. We're maybe all right yourself. His grin was as malicious as ever, but Yuya wasn't frightened by the way he had been the first time he'd seen it. What a disaster has befallen this place, came a loud cry from behind them, sending a jolt through both Yuya and Grim. They looked back in a trepidation and found not a ghost in the doorway, but head mage Crowley. Hey! Oh, thank goodness it's you! Yuya exclaimed. He was about to explain what had happened when something shot out in front of him. This again, Grim snarled. When Yuya looked down, Grim was tied up with the head mage's tough love. Oh, not again. When Yuya looked down, Grim was tied up with the head mage's... oh wait, I already read that. I heard screams as I was returning, Crowley said, lifting Grim with one hand. So it was this creature again. Quite the stubborn little beast, I suppose he was getting up to mischief here too. He looked ready to throw Grim through the window, so Yuya hurriedly grabbed his arm. No, that's not it. I was attacked by ghosts and Grim saved me. Crowley frowned. What do you mean? So, earlier, Yuya began to explain about Grim's coming in through the window, the ghost attacking, and the two of them working together to chase the ghost away. I see, the head mage nodded. Then the screams I heard were those of ghosts? Exactly! I'm innocent, I tells ya! Grim thrashed around, held by the scruff of his neck. Now that you mention it, Crowley amused, I do seem to recall that some mischievous ghosts took up residence in this dorm and scared away all the students. I'd completely forgotten that was why it was abandoned. And you were going to make me spend the night in a haunted dorm? You forgot it was haunted? What if I had actually been turned into a ghost? What would you do then? By the way, you did not say this out loud. He's thinking this. You put this question to him in gentler terms, and Crowley laughed. Absurd! This was merely an old ghost joke. He looked thoughtfully down at Grim, hanging from his hand. But to think that this one here would assist anyone. You've done well to tame such a ferocious monster.
Excuse me?
Grim snorted
Tame?
Grim snorted derisively.
This kid's a total waste of skin. I managed to make him useful.
There, you see? Crowley gestured toward the angry Grim. Very defiant. You have remarkable skills to be able to bend one like this to your will. You mustered up the courage to ask what he really wanted to know. Head mage, he began. Yes? Crowley looked up at him. So, Yuya mumbled, are you finished with your research in the library? All expression disappeared abruptly from the head mage's face. He tilted his head slightly to one side and nodded slowly. I swear to God. I swear, bro. Where is it? He appeared to be choosing his words carefully. I am indeed finished. I did not contain my research to the library, but rather availed myself of every method I could think of. Asking the other teachers, looking online, all of it.
What are you reading? I know it's Swiss, but what is it? This is the Heartstubule novel.
Twisted Wonderland, Rose Red Tyrant, the novel. You can get it at Barnes & Noble's, Amazon, and all that fun stuff. Oh yeah, and Kinokuniya I think would sell them. All that. You silently urged him to continue. But despite my best efforts, I could find no trace of this Japan that you spoke of. Crowley told him. It has never existed anywhere in Twisted Wonderland at any point in recorded history. So, that's it then? He sighed. Yes, you have indeed come from a different world, but the confounding factor here is a total lack of information. In the 100 years that I've been head mage, I can safely say that I've been witness to a great many surprises, but I have never encountered anything like this. And without any precedents, I could not find a way to return to your original world. You couldn't? Even said so bluntly, it didn't feel real. You had been so scared by the prospect of being trapped there that he nearly burst into tears, and yet when he was told that this was effectively the position he was in, he couldn't quite believe it. Deep down, he had assumed that this would all work out somehow, convinced that something so cruel would never happen to someone so utterly average as him. But he was wrong, and no one knew how to get him home. If there was some way to do it, it was not going to be easy to figure out. How was he supposed to keep going now? What was there to live for when he spoke up in the morning? Oh my god! He's suicidal! Well, you know, that's realistic, but wow, they're getting really dark here. Okay. Right. Crowley lowered Grim to the floor and cleared his throat. Yuya automatically shuddered. Well, this is difficult to say, Crowley began, but given that you are not a student at our fine college, I cannot allow you to stay here for free. Education must be fair above all else. Okay. Yuya could only hang his head at this. However, Crowley paused thoughtfully. I believe accommodations might be made if you could consider working for me. Huh? Yuya's face shot up, and he stared at the head mage. Except for the faculty, everyone employed at the college is a ghost. But a staff of ghosts is not always optimal, you see. Crowley's eyes shone. It was hard to tell because of the mask he was wearing, but his mouth was curling up slightly in what appeared to be a smile. It would truly pain me as an educator to abandon a boy without a penny to his name. I would personally find it great help
if you were to do odd jobs on campus, while I attempt to find a way to return you to your original world. As for pay, well, that would be an amount commensurate with your work performed, he smiled. What do you think? Basically minimum wage. Below minimum wage, I think. Indentured servitude. Yeah! TV smile. Yo. Janitor Arc, let's go. Let's go! Janitor Arc. Woo! Hold on, I gotta check something. Okay. Oh. Looks like I might be able to read a little longer. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. Is this how y'all get your janitors? Recruiting the orphaned isekai men and women? Yeah, that's how you get your janitors. All janitors are actually isekai people. Fun fact. Yuya wanted to hug him. He'd be able to keep going for now, at least. Crowley was giving him a roof over his head and food on his table, not to mention a purpose. I think that sounds great, he said. Thank you so much. In his great relief, the tears he held back rolled down to his cheeks. Oh, Yuya! Dear me, Crowley laughed. Well, my chatter knows no bounds. Oh, there is just one condition. Sure, Yuya nodded. What is it? You must attend to Grim, he stated firmly. Huh? Grim? He pointed automatically at the disgruntled monster, and Grim's ears twitched.
What? Me?
Yes, Crowley replied. Given that you are unable to use magic, I am somewhat concerned about leaving you alone on campus. But with Grim by your side, you should be able to handle anything that might come up. Monster and magic-free alien, it's the best that the two of you join forces, and from what I can see, you already gotten quite friendly. I cannot believe Crowley just called us magic-free alien. Seriously, Crowley? Okay. Poor Yuya doesn't know how he's getting himself into, yeah. Oh, how a generous soul I am, Crowley. Yeah, because he's so kind, right? Yuya protested, but Crowley cut him off. He's an unusually persistent, you see? Who knows what he'll get up to if left on his own devices? But I know I won't have anything to worry about if you're with him, you. Crowley was trying to get rid of a nuisance by making Grim's Yuya's responsibility. He was about to insist that he really wouldn't be able to read Grim in when the monster in question shoved him out of the way.
So I can go to school here?
Grim shouted with delight. No, Crowley said in a clipped tone. I told you, you will stay on at school to do odd jobs, cleaning the campus and maintaining the faculties. You will not be a student.
Cleaning?
Grim was obviously unhappy with this.
What kind of deal is that? I'm gonna look so stupid. I don't want to sweep up people's junk.
How shameless of you, the headmaid cried angrily. The winds were suddenly blowing in a dangerous direction. Crowley looked as though he might take back his offer at any second. He yanked Grim back in a panic and whispered in his large ears. Quit it! If you keep this up, he'll throw you out again, okay?
But I don't want to be a janitor,
Grim whined. You could only stay there on the condition that Grim stayed with him. Living with the selfish creature was bound to be rough, but it had to be better than being shut out in the cold. And Crowley was right. Yuya would be happy to have that help of someone who could use magic. Crouched down, and he was at eye level with Grim. The monster was clearly dissatisfied with special requirements, but this made Yuya feel like he could count on him somehow. I just know the head mage will let you in at some point if you stick with me, he said, desperately trying to persuade Grim that it was in both of their best interests. I mean, he's got two, right? Grim grunted as he looked away and crossed his arms. And if you get thrown out again, I'll know you'll only sneak back right in, yeah? Yuya continued. So living here with me saves you a whole lot of work. They'll feed you, and you won't have to wander around in the rain anymore. Ida. Grim turned and met eyes. You mean
I can have a can of tuna whenever I want? Yes, exactly. He bobbed his head up and down. Tuna was Grimm's thing? You could probably make that happen. Perhaps. Yuya's pleas had struck a chord. Or maybe Grimm realized that the arrangements was to his advantage. He put his hands on his hips and said, fine.
I will dine to live here with you, and I'll work. For now. Anyway.
Yuya's best character for real? For real. Wonderful. It's a done deal then, Crowley nodded, having watched over the proceedings. Once you finished with your official duties, you may of course make use of the library and other faculties as you please. I have no doubt that you would like to do some research for yourself, Yuya. You may also use this dorm however you like.
Great, thanks, Yuya said. Crowley took a silver key from the bundle of keys on his keyring. He recognized it as the key to this building from the glimpse he had gotten when they first arrived at the dorm. It was a simple old thing, but it was scratch-free and gleaming brightly, as if someone had taken good care of it. Yuya clenched it tightly in his fist. Thank you so much for this opportunity, he said, shaking Crowley's hands with his free hand and letting out a sigh of relief. He wouldn't have to worry about how he'd get by while he figured out where to go from here. He and Crowley grinned at each other while at their feet, Grimm tapped his claws loudly against the white bag Crowley was carrying. Grimm! I mean, overbars do get therapy. Eventually, yeah. Also why he lets, wait, hold on, what? I just noticed Crowley's was the only present on 2 overblocks, 2 riddles, and Malice's. Man, we should be a headmaster require students to get therapy. Let's not forget Gloria's Masquerade. Oh yeah, Train was there. I don't think Crowley was there, but Train was there. A lot of overblocks happen when the adults aren't around. That sucks. That's unfortunate. Crowley runs a school for evil wizards. It makes sense. He's a bit of a jerk. Yeah, it does make sense. And it's funny too. I still cannot get over his beef with what was the other head mage in RSA? That their beef is so funny. I love them. I love them so much. Okay, I want another song. Where is this one? Not this one. This one. Okay. Actually, you know what? I don't like that one either. I want like a wait, this one. Okay.
This is smelling real good, Grim remarked.
Ah, so you noticed, Crowley exclaimed, delighted. There's a pot of soup in there. You are hungry, aren't you?
So it is food! Grim leaped forward.
No! Crowley yanked the bag up and handed it to Yuya. You'll share it nicely. And you'll do the same tomorrow as... well, starting now, the 2 of you are 1.
Now that Crowley had mentioned it, Yuya was very hungry. He hadn't had anything to eat since his lunch at school. Damn. And he had no idea how long that had been. His stomach was growling. Take this as well, you. Crowley held out a soft package and Yuya took it in his arms. What is it, he asked. Bed clothes and a school uniform for you to wear tomorrow. You no doubt have quite the time trying to get anything done wearing our ceremonial robe. Ah, how truly thoughtful I am. You mean the bare minimum? Okay, Crowley. Guess what, Rose? I did get the anthology book last week. Yay! Congrats! Woo! Man, I want to get that art book with like the line art. It's just like a book with like how they drew like all the groovies. I just want to get that book. I forgot what the book was called, but it's like art something. Twist art something. Let's see. Yuya was concerned about being in uniform when he wasn't a student, but Crowley told him that he had plenty to spare, so he accepted it. Tentatively opening the package, he glimpsed at a black jacket and a white shirt.
There's actually a vest to complete the set. Oh, we get a vest too? Guys, take notes. This is for your OC. This is for your OC. But those are distributed by the dorms. You should be fine with that. Yes, of course, Yuya said. Thank you so much. Proof of my tremendous generosity. Eat and get yourself right to bed. I'll need you to work those fingers to the bone. Starting tomorrow, Crowley patted Yuya's shoulder gently and left. Crowley had an oddly detached air despite his exaggerated expression of delight, surprise, and sadness. He was a strange person, but he was the only person Yuya could count on at the moment, as he had given him food and a place to live. Though he seemed to be a bit half-baked, perhaps he was really just as kind and benevolent, as he repeatedly insisted he was. Yuya had no choice but to have faith in that. Yuya has no choice. Yuya really has no choice, oh my god.
Hey, Grim said. Yuya looked away from the door and Crowley had disappeared. Threw in back at Grim. What? At some point, the monster had gotten up on the table so that he was basically at eye level with Yuya. What's your name anyway? Yuya realized he hadn't introduced himself yet. Yuya Kuroki.
Yuya, Grim frowned. That's a tough one. I'm just gonna call you you. Rejoice, you! Super genius and future amazing mage Grimm's decided to make you his henchman, human.
He thrust his chest out in a show of extreme confidence. The white fur there was fluffy and looked soft to the touch. He seemed so pleased with himself that Yuya couldn't bring himself to be annoyed at this absurd declaration and simply laughed instead. Grim was selfish and reckless, but he was also forthright. Yuya felt like he was the right to rely on his little monster and his magic ability. It emboldened him somehow, and he suspected his new roommate would be coming to his rescue again and again. Thanks. He extended a hand to shake, just as he had with Crowley. When he gripped Grim's small paw, the tips of the sharp claws grazed his palm. He started a little bit, but they didn't scratch him. And the soft paw pads felt nice in his hand.
Meow!
Grim flashed his teeth.
Okay then, hand over the grub this second.
Cute. Okay, and that was the end of chapter 3. This is chapter 4 of the prologue now. So, I think we should read this. I'm just gonna take a sneak peek. I just want to see how much I can cover for today. I really want to read. How much can I read? I want to read like 60 more pages. Can we do that? I just want to get to the part where we get to like the mines, you know, the mines. I see a Grim. Oh, Grim drawing? Yeah. I was sneak peeking. I'm sorry, I was kind of spoiling it. The art in this book is so pretty. Like, hold on. Do you guys see this? Well, you can't really. Hold on. It's like, I have to unfold it. It's Riddle Rose Heart. The Riddle Rose Heart. Oh my god. So cool. This is the I gotta show it upside down, I guess. The full look at his dress, bro. You guys can't see really well. It's so shiny. I wish they sold this as a poster. I would totally buy this as a poster because like the art, this is like the best art of Overblot Riddle, I believe. Dang, Riddle it working boy, yeah. I just lost the page. Oh, okay, hold on. Part 1, part 2. Oh yeah, so if we want to get to part 2, it would be page 158. You know what? Let's do it. Let's get to that. Okay, that is pretty. Yeah. Okay. Let's begin. Okay, so this is the morning. My hardest overlap battles for me was Jamil's. Oh, I think for me it had to be Idia's. It was just well, actually no, it was
getting to Idia. The overblocks are usually easier, like on the easy side for me. I always like leveled up my cards really high. Okay. He heard laughter and voices echoing around him. Morning, said a student. Good morning, said another student. A blackboard white with white and chalk dust. A clock with a slightly warped second hand. Bulletin board posts faded into the sunlight. The gentle morning light shining hazily on familiar sight. Yuya was standing in the doorway of a school classroom. A student near the window looked at the desk beside him. That had been Yuya's desk since the start of school 6 months earlier. Isn't someone missing? The student asked, frowning slightly. The other students around him quizzically cocked their heads to one side. Their eyes surveyed the classroom and all slipped past Yuya. No one could see him. You think? Someone asked. Maybe it's just you, another guessed. There wasn't anything malicious in his classmates' reactions. They were just simply confused. Huh. Maybe. Guess that was weird. Sorry. The boy in the seat next to Yuya scratched his head, frowned, and then quickly moved on. They're all ignoring him. Oh my god, we're such big losers. No! Did you do the reading? Nah, no time. I had practice. Someone let me look at their notes. that wasn't a question. That was a demand right there, but okay. Friends chatted freely, and not a single person noticed that Yuya was not there with them. It wasn't just that he had been forgotten, it seemed as though they hadn't ever known a student named Yuya Kuroki in the first place. The bell rang, and his classmates took their seats one after another. Yuya's vacant seat was the only quiet spot in the bustling morning classroom. He felt no sadness or indignation. He was simply deeply, powerfully relieved. Okay, this was good. It was better this way. It was exactly what he wanted. After all, he'd always... Wah! A voice loud enough to shake the world around Yuya woke him. He rubbed sleepy eyes, wondering what it could have been as he looked around at the fireless fireplace, the shredded curtains, and the shabby, battered room, illuminated by the white sunlight. Right. I'm not at home. I'm gonna go back. Bye! This is so depressing. Oh! Are we okay? Are we good? I dipped. I literally dipped for a bit. Didn't I? I want to see the middle already. They're coming. They're coming. Okay. The internet is not internet setting right now. I might end it soon. Than I thought. I'm missing Ace and Do so much. It's been a year since we've seen them in the main story. For real! Where are they? They've been replaced by Silver and Savek, basically. He's always what? What do you mean what? With what? I'm confused. My cat isn't catting y'all. Same. Okay. I'm mostly praying to have overblock cards. I feel like they would do that for like book 7, but I don't know. I really hope they did. I hope like they, but it would be too much, I think. Okay. Yuya. Oh, okay. Wait. No, I think this was good. It was better this way. This is exactly what he wanted. After all, he'd always what? Hold on, this is more important than I thought it was. This whole expert about him being back in the real world. Was he like always invisible? Is that what it is? He always never belonged? Back home and he belongs in Twisted Wonderland? Is that what it means? What does it mean? What does it mean? Oh shoot, okay. Alright. Previous evening, he'd been suddenly overwhelmed by exhaustion after eating the meal he'd miraculously kept Grim from snatching away. With no energy left for cleaning any of the other rooms, he'd not so much fallen asleep as lost consciousness on the lounge sofa. Before the details of his dream had the chance to sink in, someone was slapping his arm and chasing them away. He looked up, he looked to one side and Grim was standing there, glaring at him.
You up and at 'em!
Well, morning, Yuya said, looking at Grim with bleary eyes. What's wrong?
Morning!
He froze at the sound of this low voice. Oh. Morning. He froze at the sound of this low voice. It wasn't Grim's, and it definitely wasn't his own. Yuya glanced up to see the ghost that had supposedly chased away the night before floating above him. Yeah! He fell off the sofa in his surprise, and a cloud of dust puffed up around him. He coughed and choked while the ghost laughed. The head mage told us if you're gonna be living here, said the ghost. Oh, the head mage told us you're gonna be living here. Okay.
So that means you're our new pals.
Terrific! Another chimed in.
Who we're calling a pal? Grim grumbled, glaring at the ghost. Why'd you come back anyway? You want some more of what I gave you yesterday?
No, you young folks are always raring for a fight, one of the ghosts said. Calm down and listen. He got up and brushed the dust off his clothes as the ghost watched. You okay? One of them asked. I'm okay, Yuya said, standing next to Grim, who was on high alert. When the ghost had assaulted Yuya the day before, it had been dark, and he had truly felt like his life might be in danger. He felt none of that fear now as he faced the ghost floating before him. Perhaps it was because of the warm sun shining into the room, or maybe it was due to the ghosts all grinning happily, unlike they had been during the encounter yesterday. He was a moment to really look at them. Took a moment to really look at them. One was puffed up and soft like a marshmallow, while another was bone thin, and the third looked like a little snowball. Wait, what? A little snow? That's kind of cute, actually, high key. All right. Oh, whoa. Internet, why? Okay, I guess I can't go live on TikTok no more. This sucks. Okay. He took a moment to really look at them. Snowball. Right, little snowball. All three were wearing silk hats and cloaks, but floating in the middle of the sunny lounge as if they were frolicking at the beach in the summer. Sorry about yesterday. We were just playing a little prank. Never dreamed we'd scare you like that, said one. Yeah, exactly. You were so scared, Nyx added. Real nice work on our part, chimed in the third. I was not freaked out at all, Grim snarled as he leaped at them, but they bobbed away to dodge him easily. This infuriated Grim, and the ghost taunted him one after the other, laughing playfully, clearly enjoying their trick. Look, we really love the way you two get all worked up, one ghost said pacingly. Come on, let's just be friends, okay? Yuya pressed a hand over Grim's mouth, certain the balls of fire would only make everything worse, and bowed his head to his elders. We love that. He refused to let his spiral out of control, not when he just woken up. Though now that he thought about it, what time is it? The hands on the clock hanging on the wall were pointing at the same time they had been the previous night. Obviously, stopped. The ghost immediately began to whirl around in a panic. You gotta get ready and go to work right now, the head mage sent a message asking you to clean up Main Street today. He also said, please no big brouhaha. Big brouhaha? Brouhaha. Okay. Yuya quickly made himself presentable and left the decrepit dorm with the ghosts. They were surprisingly full of life in the morning sun as they showed Yuya and Grim to the way to the main street. I'm gonna jump on the wall and kick those ghost balls. Yo, chill. They never did you anything wrong, right? They're kind of like our alarm clock. They kind of tell us like, hey, wake up, you got work to do. Oh, those ghost roomies, yeah. I'm gonna pull Luigi's mansion. Bro, what does that mean?
Silly ghost uncles. They are silly ghost uncles. Okay. You and Grim morning sun as they showed you and Grim to the main street. Dust glittered and sparked. Oh wait, no, you guys can't read that. Okay, there we go. Dust glittered and sparked inside their semi-transparent bodies, making them seem simultaneously delighted and as mysterious as smoke on a dark stage. They passed a number of buildings until they reached a wide road. This is Main Street, one of the ghosts told them. Everyone takes this road to school. You gotta clean it up real nice with your broom and mop so that the new students can enjoy the walk to their first day of classes.
Whoa, okay. We're gonna head out on our morning walk. Another said, you boys get in there and get the job done.
The ghosts faded away like morning dew, leaving only their laughter behind.
I can't believe they just showed us the way here and disappeared, Yuya murmured, staring at the space where the ghost had been. Get the job done. Are they for real? Look how long this road is, Grim said as he pointed, looking supremely annoyed. Cobblestone stretched out before them. The road was wide enough that three of Yuya could have lain comfortably side by side. There was a bend in about 10 meters from where they stood, and the road kept going beyond that with no end in sight. It would probably take them several hours just to clear away the garbage and fallen leaves with a broom. The sides of the road were lined with a large stone statue, and the school sat behind them. 4 on the left, 3 on the right. The stone was smooth and shining. How many years had these statues stood facing one another? Polished by unknown caretakers. They were clearly old and well cared for.
OMG, I always thought it was a manga. I mean, it is, technically. There's a manga out there that you could read. Where is... Nope. 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 This one. I do like that the ghost acts as guys for you. Yeah, it's really, really endearing. Okay.
I ran across these guys in the rain yesterday, Grim remarked. Kinda surprised me. Yuya had felt the same way when he had been walking with Crowley the night before. Whatever else, these statues were obviously not modeled after human beings. He had passed by them on tenterhooks, worried that these monsters might start moving at any second. Who are they anyway? Grim stared up. Who are they anyway? Grim stared up at the 3 statues standing on one side of the road. Check it out! This lady here looks like she's got some real anger management issues. He tossed the bucket and rag the ghost had given him to one side of the road.
Oh, shoot. Internet connection? Hello, 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 hello? Uh-oh. Are we good? Are we okay? I think we're okay. Okay. I'll keep going. Yikes.
You don't know the Queen of Hearts? Huh? Yuya and Grim gasped as they whirled around. A rich orange leaped into their field of view. Orange! Orange boy! A boy with vivid terracotta hair was standing before them. He was either the same age or a little older than Yuya, and had a red heart painted over his left eye.
Who are you?
Grim crossed his arms and glared. Sup? Nice to meet ya.
I'm gonna try to give Ace like an F-boy type of vibe, because he just gives me that vibe. Sorry, Ace fans. He's kind of like an F-boy to me. OMG, I have to study to my physics test tomorrow, but I still have to want to watch this. What should I do? Bro! Go study! You don't have to listen to this.
The boy said as he gave Grim a snap and a wink. He seemed to be doing this out of habit rather than actual enthusiasm. Name's Ace. Ace Trapula. I'm a fresh first-year student here as of today. Pleased to meet ya.
That is not an F-boy voice. Okay, I'll find it. Grim, I know someone worse with anger management issues. Ace-hole! Ace, yeah!
I'm Grim. I'm a prodigy who's planning to be like the greatest mage who've ever lived. That's they're my far less interesting human.
I'm Yuya Kuroki. Nice to meet you. Yuya stammered. From what Crowley had told him, the majority of the first year starting at Nine College
were 16 years old, which meant Ace was likely the same age as Yuya. He let his eyes roam, feeling a bit awkward. Ace looked at him curiously. Yuya? Name's got an odd ring to it. Both the head mage and Grim had said that Yuya's name was hard to pronounce. Maybe Japanese names sounded weird in this world. Yuya's just fine though. Oh, Yuya's just fine though, Grim told Ace. And Yuya nodded his agreement. Things would be a lot easier if he just introduced himself like that from now on. So then, Ace, do you need something from us? Oh, Ace chuckled. I'm surprised there's anyone who doesn't know the Queen of Hearts is all. Is she that big of a deal, this Queen of Hearts, you asked? I like it, Rose. Thank you. Exactly, so make Pearl proud. Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally. The corners of Ace's mouth shot up. She was this queen who used to live in the Maze of Roses way back in the day. She was seriously strict and kind of obsessed with the rules. She couldn't stand anything being out of order, not the possessions of the cards that served her. And definitely not the color of the Palace roses. He looked up at the statue of the Queen of Hearts with Yuya and Grim. She had a crown on her head and a heart-shaped hand fan in her left hand. 2 fingers lifted the hem of her gown, and she held her head high, looking pleased with herself. As Grim had noted, the look on her face was haughty and strong-willed. She basically ruled over a kingdom of a real bunch of weirdos, Ace said, but not one of them dared defy her. How come, Yuya asked, and Ace grinned at him as if he'd been waiting for this question. Because the punishment for breaking the rules was your whole head, he told him with a smirk. I imagine Ace doing the standard anime hands behind head and elbows pose. Oh, totally. Ace would totally be doing that. Or I can study while I watch. Hey, anything up to you, bro. But like the VOD's up there if you just want to listen to this later. Okay. Whole head. Where's the whole head part? He told him with a smirk.
That's seriously messed up!
Grim cried, and Yuya shuddered alongside him. Yeah? Ace replied nonchalantly. I think it's cool. I'm a big fan. I mean, nobody's gonna follow a queen who's nice all the time, you know? I guess so. Grim shifted his gaze to the other 2 statues on the side of the road with the Queen of Hearts. He pointed to one of them. Okay then, what about the lion with a scar on his eye there? He's as famous as his queen.
Nacha.
What? What is Ace saying here?
What the hell?
Natch, Ace said. There's the king of beasts, ruler of the vast savannah. Well, I say king, but he wasn't actually born to the throne. He had to earn it with a bunch of elaborate schemes. So the lion with the scar over his left eye was called the king of beasts. He stood proudly with his magnificent mane held high and sharp eyes shining with intelligence. He had clearly been a great ruler. I guess after he became king, he declared that the hyenas wouldn't be pariahs anymore. He said they should live among his subjects as equals, Ace explained.
Huh? Grim frowned. Why would he do that?
It means like, of course. Oh, okay. I've never heard anybody say that, or let alone read that. Lost connection. Okay, we're back. Big yikes. Okay. After this, I gotta end because my internet is not with it today. It's just not cool. Okay. Maybe you could look past the status and all this stuff because he had been a royal himself, Ace said. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, when you put it like that, he's kind of rock and roll. Grim stood a little taller and set a hand on the pedestal of the stone statue in between the Queen of Hearts and the King of Beasts. So then, who's this old lady with the octopus legs? Just as Grim noted, the lower half of the statue had the limbs of an octopus in the place of human legs.
That's the sea witch.
She lived in an underwater grotto. Ace looked up at the statue with the twisting legs covered in the round suckers. She basically devoted her life to making sad merfolk happy. A real compassionate lady. If they were willing to pay the price, she'd help them change how they looked, find love, whatever. He pointed at the piece of paper in her right hand. That thing there is a contract. Her mouth was marked by a beauty spot and stretched out and a wide, generous smile that went nicely with the tale of a compassionate heart, doing whatever it took to save merfolk. Although, they say the price for all that power was a teensy bit high. Ace continued. But, I mean, you're talking about granting wishes here, so it's only natural you'd have to pay.
Nice! Grim gazed up at the statue, a dreamy look on his face. I want to be a great mage already too, so I can start rinking in the dough. And then I'm gonna eat my fill of canned tuna every day.
Sounds like a plan, Ace laughed. You gotta dream big, you know? Quite pleased, Grim skipped over to the opposite side of the street.
Oh! Do the dude with the big hat next!
Grim. Okay.
That's the Sorcerer of Sands. Ace looked up at the statue of a slim man alongside Grim. He was an advisor to the total dole. Time there was this guy who pretended to be a prince from some other country to trick the princess. And then the one who was exposed as swindler was none other than the sorcerer here. The Sorcerer of the Sands held a staff shaped like a snake in the slender fingers, and wore a hat with a feather adorning it and a long cape flowing down his back. He stood up with one hand on his hip, looking thoughtfully majestic. Yuya was impressed. An advisor who had saved the nation from disaster, he must have been a wonderful and capable person. This Sorcerer of Sands had to have been an excellent judge of character, huh? He said.
Probably. Wait, Probably, Ace agreed.
Plus, after that, he got his magic lamp that everyone thought was only a legend, and he became the greatest sorcerer in the world. They say he used the power to become a sultan himself.
Yeah, real sorcerers can pretty much do anything.
Grim held his head high, as proud as if he were the sultan. Or maybe I should say sultan. Yeah, I'm gonna say sultan. Sultan before pestering Ace to explain the next statue to them. What about this beauty over here?
Grim? Okay, Grim.
She's a queen who's said to be the fairest in all of the land, Ace told him. Yuya looked at the statue closest to the main school building. Just as Ace had said, the queen stone statue was so beautiful it made her heart pound a little faster. Even in statue form, she shone brightly, and Yuya would have been too overwhelmed to even meet her eyes if faced with the actual person.
I have good news for you, Yuya.
She wore a large crown and held the stem of a melting apple between two fingers. I wonder how much Grim really knows. Like, he knows that NRC is, and he can become a great mage, but not the grade 7. Yeah, that's odd. Like, he's almost as if, like, the way that he explores the world is kind of like the same way as Yuya. Like, he doesn't know much outside of NRC. And he doesn't even know much about magic either. He just knows about NRC and that's it. Just like, kind of like, Yuya. She used her magic mirror to check how her beauty ranked every day, Ace continued. And she'd do whatever it took to make sure she stayed number 1. Like, sure, she was naturally beautiful, but she was also always working hard to stay on top. I mean, that's dedication, you know? She must have been incredibly focused, Yuya replied. Seems like a country ruled by a queen like her would be a pretty peaceful place to live. On top of that, Ace said, lowering his voice slightly, not only was this total hottie gorgeous. Ace, why are you talking about the queen of... Why were you talking about the evil queen like that? Okay. Well, now we know that Ace is attracted to the queen of... the evil queen. God, Ace. Okay. Not only was this total hottie gorgeous, but she was a master of making poisons.
Poisons?
Graham gasped, taking a step back from the statue.
Now we're in Scary Town!
Well, poison and medicine are flip sides of the same coin, Ace shrugged. And maybe she learned that stuff so that she could make herself even more beautiful. I mean, she'd go that far for her beauty. Gotta respect the hustle. Ace! Okay. True, peeps with that kind of drive are pretty cool. Grim sounded excited. Ace's stories about these giants of history were clearly inspiring his own already grand ambition. Yuya was totally enjoying hearing the tales behind the statues. The strange little anecdotes took root in his mind thanks to Ace's storytelling prowess. The way he slipped in jokes and kept the story moving along demonstrated an eloquence beyond his years. Was he really the same age as Yuya? Plus, he was surprisingly good-natured, answering Yuya's and Grimm's questions without a hint of ill will or frustration. So Yuya found himself warming up to the other boy. Perhaps feeling his eyes on him, Ace met Yuya's gaze and grinned. He was so cheerful. Oh, did anyone else disconnect? Yeah, my internet is just doing bonkers. So I'm trying to like speed it up and then end the stream because I can't keep up no more. There were still 2 statues left unexplained. Grimm stopped in front of one of them. Whoa, he cried. The guy's head's on fire. He's freaky just to look at. Yup, Ace nodded. That's the king of the underworld. His frightening name was well deserved. The statue was a man with razor-like teeth who was smiling ferociously as a flame danced on up from a long, sharp fingernail. He ruled a kingdom crawling with evil spirits, a real powerful dude, and yeah, he maybe does look kind of scary. Ace glanced up at the statue. But he was a straight shooter who worked super hard at a job he never asked for, without ever taking a day off. Kerberos, the Hydra, the Titans, they all took orders from this guy right here. The Titans? Yuya frowned, confused. You don't know them? Ace asked. Kerberos, the Hydra, and the Titans were these monsters back in the day, all huge and super strong. The king of the underworld had to have been something pretty special to have guys like that obeying his every word, you know? If he was so amazing, he should have just forced some other guy to do all that boring work. Grimm sniffed. I totally would've. But don't you think he's even cool for not doing that? Ace asked. He went in and got the job done. His respect for the ancient king came through loud and clear. And although Grimm still looked dubious, he seemed nonetheless impressed. Pretty great group, huh? He said, doing all that amazing stuff. He shifted his eyes from the statue to the statue as he walked alongside Yuya and Ace until they reached the last of the stone idols. Let's see here. Standing between the beautiful queen and the sorcerer of sand. This one with the horns is the last one.
Wait, is this the one? Is this one with the horns is the last one, he asked? Who's this?
That's the Thorn Fairy, who lived on a mystical mountain, he said. She had 2 large conspicuous horns sprouting out of her head. At her feet was a statue of a wild rose bush covered in thorns. She was a noble and elegant master of magic and curses, even by the standards of these 7. Ooh, Ace told them. She commanded storms and covered their entire kingdom in thorns. The scale of the Thorn Fairy magics was seriously bananas. The other 6 had possessed unprecedented magical powers. The Thorn Fairy was clearly on an entire different level. Grimm's eyes grew wide in amazement. And that's not all, dude, Ace said playfully. Listen to this. She could also turn herself into an enormous dragon. The impression that the simplicity of her dress was in fact a display of her eminence power. The greatest mages to ever exist, Ace sighed. This academy considers this so-called Grade 7 to be so important that they built these statues of them and everything. Text singing their praises was inscribed to each of the pedestals of these 7 statues. Oh, they actually give us like the inspiration. Oh, this is so cool! Okay, so like this is what they say on the statues. Okay, Queen of Hearts, a queen who was ruled over the mazes. On circulation, pop color. All right, I'm not gonna read any of this, to be honest, cause like it's kind of redundant. But feel free to see. Oh wait, no, you guys can't read past here. Okay, I'll read this one. Sea Witch. A compassionate sea witch who delved in a grotto deep beneath the waves. To repent for past misdeeds, she devoted herself to helping troubled souls and guiding even seemingly hopeless romances to a true happy ending. Yeah, right. The Sorcerer of Sands, a wise sorcerer of a desert kingdom, who used his keen insight to obtain a magic lamp that granted him great power. He supported his king by regularly offering carefully considering words of advice. Scar was not a wizard. Why can't MC be a student again? Honestly, don't know why. I guess because beastmen are still technically magical or something? Or maybe because he was attacking Lion, that was still magical? Anyways,
Yeah. Fairy's Queen, the King of the Underworld, the Thorn Fairy, a fairy who reigned over a mystical mountain, wielding magical powers that included mastery over storms and thorns. Proud and refined, she shares solitude, even as she commanded her countless minions. Crazy! Okay, the Great Seven, Yuya said out loudly as a chilly pit opened in his stomach. But Yuya felt more fear than Ad. He was pretty sure one of his nursery school teachers had read him a picture book featuring a fairy tale about a woman talking to a magic mirror. The history of the beautiful queen sounded a bit like that fairy tale. He couldn't remember the details now, but regardless, the story Ace had just told him was no myth. In this world, it had really happened. Interesting. Okay. But the feats of these magicians were preposterous. The 7 sorcerers were so powerful that they were deemed special, even in this world filled with magic. Yuya couldn't begin to imagine how great their power must have been. As he shuddered in something like terror, Grim danced around happily.
Lucky! I'm so jealous. I can't wait for my statue to get built as a tribute to my might.
Pretty cool, huh? Ace said. Then suddenly, his voice changed, and it was extremely cold and full of malice. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Wait, no. It's not that. It's, No, not that one either. What song was it? They started fighting. Yeah, this is the song. Yeah, this is it. Not like some twiddling weasel.
Huh?
You looked over at Ace, who was convulsing with a hand over his mouth. Ace, what's wrong? Ace burst into laughter, doubled over. I can't hold it back anymore. It's too funny. I can't breathe. His laughter gradually grew louder and wilder. Yuya and Grim stared at him, stunned, until finally he wiped away the tears from the corner of his eyes and looked at them. Come on! You're the ones who turned orientation into a fiasco yesterday, right? The charming boy of only moments earlier was nowhere to be found. His bright, friendly smile was more of a sneer, and the flush of his round cheeks pushed his eyes up, distorting the heart-drawn eye around his eye. You two seriously stand out. Ace held up a finger and pointed first at Yuya. A total normie! A perfect punchline to a disappointing joke. Oh my goodness! Ace, that was uncalled for. Every eye in the school focused on him, and he still can't even use a drop of magic. He turned to Grim, a monster who wasn't even summoned by the Dark Mirror in the first place, but crashed orientation anyway, and got beaten to a pulp by the house warden. Oh god. Mean girl Ace, yeah. He pointedly looked at them over from head to toe before his lips curled into a smile that didn't touch the harsh gleam in his red eyes. You're perfect for each other. Every time Ace blinked, he sent sparks of hostility flying through the air, burning the tip of Yuya's nose. The malice spilling from the other boy was so powerful, Yuya could practically hear it crackling in the air. Stunned into speechlessness, he staggered backward, and his feet caught on something. Grim. The monster's tail was standing on end, an arrow pointing up to the sky. What are... Grim stammered, seeming as surprised as Yuya.
You don't gotta be a jerk! Coming all out of a sudden like this!
It's not all of a sudden, dude. They smirked. The look on your face when they picked you up and tossed you out was hilarious. It took everything I had not to burst into laughter in the middle of the ceremony. He dropped his gaze to the broom and bucket into Yuya's hand. What, neither of you got admitted, so now you're janitors? Pretty sad.
Shut up, you!
Grim shouted, enraged, the pupils of his eyes expanding, while Ace roared with laughter. I'm gonna be a student at the school in no time. Oh wait,
I'm gonna be a student in this school in no time.
Nuh-uh, no way. Ace shook his head firmly. Before you try getting into academy again, maybe you should take another crack at kindergarten. I mean, you're both so clueless, you don't even know who the grade 7 are. Not a one of them. You watched the exchange, despairing. If you got one word in against Ace, you would repay the favor tenfold. You couldn't see them winning this or any other argument against the boy with the heart around his eye. Ace is a jerk in the novel. Yes, but deservedly so, I think. I mean, he's a jerk to everybody, but like, he was a jerk to the right person in book 1, so like, I don't hold it against him. Guessing by his manners, he probably just came from kindergarten. Oh, burn! Got him! Grim stomped on the ground in frustration and beat at Yuya's thighs.
Hey, you! Don't just stand there. Give this jerk the what for?
Huh? Me? You would have panicked? Oh, what? Ace. Ace definitely arched an eyebrow and leaned in closely. If you got something to say, it's a free country, you know. America? America?
Oh, shoot!
You opened trembling lips. You could tell that Ace was laughing at him, almost daring him to do something. If NRC is like the America of Twisted Wonderland, that would make so much sense. It would make so much sense why they have like an overplot like every other week, bro. Oh my god. Hilarious. Go ahead and speak then, the cherry red eyes said with a challenging glint. Yuya's mind went blank. And before he knew it, he was shaking his head. I'm good. Huh? Ace frowned at him. The whole disaster at orientation, me being at a disappointment, Yuya smiled, trying to brush it all off. Honestly, I think it's just like you said, Ace. Seriously? Come on, man. Don't you have any pride? Ace snorted angrily. Ace, what do you want from us? We're not, you know, we're not, we don't have it in us. We can't fight back, bro. We just got here. Jeez, you're a total bore. A smirk slid off his face as he clapped his hands behind his head. Oh, he did the anime pose! He did the thing! Apparently losing interest now that Yuya wasn't reacting as expected. Anyway, I only started talking to you in the first place because I wanted to tease you in a bit. But I'm sick of that now. I'll let you get back to picking up trash for your little monster friend. Yuya bobbed his head up and down and turned away from Ace and the cold look on his face. All he wanted to do was get as far away from this place and in this moment as he could. Come on, let's go, he muttered and gave Grim a push. Oh god. Oh, called it, yeah. But the monster swatted his hand away, exclaiming,
Yeah, you ain't walking away from me!
He leaped out in front of Ace, stomach puffed up. Uh-oh. We didn't even get a chance. We didn't even get a chance. Please. The way the students and faculty of this school jump to conclusions like half-blind grasshoppers and cement themselves there, yeah. It's something. Alright. Okay. You didn't even finish the chance to shout a warning at Ace before flames were shooting from Grim's mouth. Whoa! Ace dodged the ball of fire in the nick of time. The cobblestone at his feet smoked and smoldered. What are you doing?
Someone makes fun of Grim, master of fire!
Grim snarled.
I'll show you who's boss here.
Ha! Ace snorted. You want to throw down with me, shorty? Yuya heard whispers and murmur chattered and looked around. The students trickling toward the school were stopping and staring curiously. Huh?
Isn't that the monster they caught yesterday? Said the student. What's going on? A fight? Against the first year? Another asked. Oh, sweet! Get him! The students began cheering and cheering all around them. Hey! Behind the statue there, it's that guy. What's his name? Yuya flushed when the crowd started talking about him. The chattering grew increasingly loud. You can't do this! He tried to get Grim and Ace to cool down. The head mage told us not to cause any trouble. Shut it! Grim didn't even look back at him. This Rudo needs a lesson in manners! You need to go back to school before you can start teaching anything, weasel.
Oh god. Master Fire is an overstatement. Yeah. Ace pulled something out of the pocket of his school uniform. It glittered in the morning sun. At first, Yuya thought it was a wand, but it was way too short. He frowned. Pen? Ace held a capped black pen with a large gem attached to the top. When he brandished it above his head, the red stone began to shine as if in response to its wielder. Yuya felt like he had seen something like it before. When he poked around in his memory, he realized that whatever Riddle had held in his hand the day before had glittered in a similar way. Grim spewed another ball of fire, but a gust of wind shot forth from the shining stone and knocked the flames off course before they came anywhere near Ace. The ball of fire flew off toward the crowd and of onlookers instead, who screamed and laughed in equal parts. Huh? Grim was surprised and cast his fire spell 3 more times, but the result was the same each time. A sudden gust would blow up from one side or from above or below, whichever direction Ace's pen happened to move, and kept the flames from reaching their target. When Ace was left untouched by even a stray spark, Yuya was forced to a single conclusion. Ace couldn't control the wind. The students watching in the crowd around them seemed to take all this in stride, unsurprised by the little show. It seems like you could use magic to generate wind as well as fire. Aww, can't hit me with your little fireballs. Ace flashed them a confident grin and turned his pen toward Grim. Take that! A powerful blast of air slammed into the monster and put out his fire. The force of it knocked him down and sent him tumbling across the cobblestone like a fall. Like, what's his face? Yeah.
How dare you mess with my magic!
Grim pulled himself up the ground and braced on all fours.
Get ready to eat fire!
That the only trick you know, shorty? Ace taunted and waved his pen. Flames shot forth, air's current jetted past, and Yuya gasped in shock and horror at the new trajectory of Grim's fireball. It was heading straight for the statues of the great Snakes. Hold up! Ace cried, reaching out as a helpless hand. Ah! No! The flame slammed into the Queen of Hearts and engulfed the entire statue in a blink of an eye as a crowd of students watched, stunned. No way, came a shocked murmur from somewhere. This is maybe very bad? You yelped in panic. Grim leaned up.
It's not my fault! Ace did it! It's his fault for using wind magic!
It's your fault! You're the one You're the one with the fire magic, Ace shouted. Triple yikes, if the teacher hears about this. Come now. It turned at the sound of a familiar voice. Ooh. You gotta go. Alright, bye, see ya. Yeah! Someone in the crowd cried, it's the head mage! Crap! Run! Not the students scattering. The students scattered like frightened rabbits. Ace tried to blend in among them and flee, but he was quickly bound by magic alongside Grim. Perhaps because the pen in his hand had attached the censure of the head mage. Crowley waved his staff, the flames vanished, and charged Queen of Hearts appeared. Tips of her crown crumbled and fell to the ground, ruined by the intense heat of Grim's flames. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. Damn, this is kind of foreshadowing when you think about it, because charred Queen of Hearts, a charred Riddle,
Well, Riddle didn't get burnt alive, but you know, still foreshadowing. The head mage staggered back dramatically, the back of one hand pressed to his forehead. "It can't be," he moaned. "To think that our academy could house a student who would destroy the magnificent statues of the Great Seven." "No, see, you've got it all wrong," Ace pleaded as he desperately shook his head. The only part of him that he could move, it was a teensy little accident, and I mean, it was totally the monster's fault. "I will not tolerate excuses," Crowley barked. "State your name and grade." Ace looked anywhere but at the head mage. "There's no point in trying to deceive me." Ace sighed in resignation. "First year, Class A, Ace Trapla." "Ace Trapla, is it?" Crowley turned his eyes to the red and black ribbon tied around Ace's left arm. "From the suit painted on your face and the band around your arm, it seems that you are a member of a Hearts Village dorm, It's almost as if you're hoping to be expelled, getting yourself involved in such a serious incident so soon after starting here." "Please have mercy," Ace begged.
Ooh, yikes. Grim winced excitedly. "Not a good look, dude."
"My words are also directed at you, Grim." Crowley thundered, and his tough love magic tightened around the monster.
Grim yelled.
"And you!" The head mage now turned his stern eyes on Yuya. "You were specifically told to keep him under control, and yet this precious statue met such a terrible fate. How could you do this?" "Like we did it on purpose. What do you mean, Crowley?" I know, sir." He hung his head. "I'm sorry. Honestly." Crowley looked at the contrite group and let out a sigh. "I do hope you have reflected on your actions and feel appropriately remorseful." "I am." Ace and Grim both muttered reluctantly. "Are you truly remorseful?" And this time, Yuya joined in. "I am!" the three of them chimed. "Very well," Crowley nodded, satisfied. "Since I am incredibly benevolent, I shall forgive you just this once, after you clean 100 windows as penance."
Huh?
Ace stared at the head mage in surprise.
Clean 100 windows? Does that mean me too?
"Naturally," Crowley replied as he freed them from their magical bonds. "I expect you to have class to attend now, Trapela, so we will defer this punishment until after school. Once classes are over, I expect the three of you to be good little boys and clean those windows together. Am I understood?"
"Yes, sir," Ace replied weakly as he stood up and brushed the dirt off his uniform. He twirled the pen in his hand and stared at it before nodding as if something made sense to him now. He stuffed the pen back into his pocket. "What do I have to?" he grumbled as he headed toward the school. Crowley watched him around the bend on Main Street and disappear from sight before picking Grim up by the scruff of his neck and holding him out to Yuya. "You and Grim are to fulfill your janitorial duties," he said, then held up a finger. "As per my previous instructions, you will clean the campus now and later wash 100 windows with Ace. Quite a busy day of tidying for you too, it seems." Oh god. Why in Twisted Wonderland did you think that one instance of Grim and you teaming up for survival mean that you is a dire beast whisperer capable of stopping him from going crazy, you bird brain? Honestly, it's so unfair. I don't like that we had to do this, but it's, you know, it's for the plot. Where is the angry, lazy magic janitor to watch them? True. Nobody's gonna supervise us? This is the main issue. We have no adult around us. We're always like, Crowley talks to us for like 5 minutes and then leaves us to our own devices, and then he acts shocked that things go wrong. Like, seriously? Okay. "First yesterday and now today, you got it in for us or what?" Grim protested. Yuya wanted to lodge the same complaint, but he stopped himself with a sigh. He wasn't gonna have any extra time to do research. The library, after all. Finding the world he came from was going to have to wait a little longer, it seemed. Well,
There it is. That's where we'll stop for today. I think after this, we just have like a little bit more left to go, and then that's the end of the prologue, and then no more reading because I want to read the rest on my own. No more read along streams, but you guys can get this on your own if you want. It is an option. Okay. Anyways, I really actually enjoyed this because I did not expect for us to be like, for you to be so depressed. Like, I mean, again, it's obvious, it's realistic, but it was never ever described like that in the game or in the manga. Everything was like so fast paced. We never like got to like sit and wonder how Yuya felt about things. Where's there Sebastian? Yeah, he's for stream knows. No problem. But yeah, speaking of Ace, I'm gonna do a birthday stream of him for tomorrow. I gotta post that schedule today before it becomes like midnight. So yeah, this was fun. I'm glad you enjoyed. I had lots of fun too. I want to do more of this. Definitely. I want to do more read-alongs. It's fun. I enjoy the novel. It's basically like TWST Wonderland, but more in detail. I just want to know more about Yuya, because like we never really get to learn about the MC themselves. Like, they have a personality, they have like things about them, we just never really get to learn about them. No problem, guys, no problem. What else do I want to say? Oh yeah, the only time that we ever heard about Yuya's thoughts was like in book 6 and book 7. In book 6 where like they were about to like die, and then in book 7 with like when they finally thought they had the chance to go home, you know. Yeah, I have the novel on my phone. Ooh, nice. I bought the physical version just because I like reading from a physical book and whatnot. I also wanted the illustration in my hand. The thing that gets me is what a WSU is in this version. I mean, I can't say I necessarily blame them, but dang, it's hard to watch. I mean, they're like what? They're 16 years old in this novel. Yeah, like they're the same age as Ace. So like, imagine being 16 alone, no friends, no parents. You meet this Crowley dude who seems trustworthy but not really trustworthy. It's scary, and you learn about like things that never existed before, like dragons and magic and all that. It's not ideal for a 16-year-old to go through, realistically speaking. So yeah, it's I enjoy this realistic depiction of Yuya. I know TWST is a blank slate game by design, but I feel like there's a lot of missed potential by not having the MC be a true character. Yeah, I don't know. I guess they're trying to like put more, because if they did make MC a character in the game, it would take a lot. Well, would it take a lot away from the other characters? I feel like it would. I feel like the way that the game is built, we focus more on the boys because they are the selling point. No one's gonna buy merch of you or anything like that. I feel like that's you know, it'd be more fun if you could self-insert yourself into the game. I feel like you is meant to be self-insert for us, but yeah, it does make it limiting for novels adapting stories like this and try to make the MC relatable. Yeah, you know what, at least what they do in the mangas and in the novels especially, they give them a right. They did that this big buff dude who knew forgot the name of, but like the sword thing in like Japan. I totally forgot the name of the sport. And they also have a girl doing judo for Savannah Claw. And then they have like a chubby dude who runs a Chinese restaurant with his family for Octavidel. I can't wait to see what they're gonna do for Scrivia. When the Scrivia manga comes out, bro, I'm gonna buy the hell out of that manga, bro. Anyways, Yuki-en. Yeah! Yuki-en, what were all their names? They're all you at the end of the day. Kendo. Yeah, Kendo, there we go. Use the character few will cobble together original pieces for. Yep, that's what it's called. Okay, well, I'm gonna log off. I'm gonna post a schedule for I guess this week, not next week, this week. Remember Ace's birthday tomorrow. I think I'm gonna do it same time as today, 8 p.m. or maybe a little earlier. We'll see. We'll see. I have to remember what I'm gonna do tomorrow. Yeah. Oof, wrong sword sport. Yeah. There's a lot of sword sports out there when you think about it. Okay. Bye bye bye. Bye. Oh yeah, I totally forgot. I moved the outro. Okay, there we go.